special report. It looks like the mayor of Newark, as well as 2 other congresswomen, decided they were going to storm an ICE detention center. So let's just say they got a special slice of FAFO. Let's take a look. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Community Ledger. Again, my name is Andrea Banu. If you have not already, please go ahead and take this moment to press that subscribe button. And so, like I stated above the intro, it looks like the mayor of Newark, as well as 2 additional congresswomen, decided they were just going to go to an ICE detention center and bum rush the gate, see what's going on, start walking around, et cetera, et cetera. And as you know, a lot of these people at these detention centers are criminals. And I'm not just talking about a criminal because you crossed the border illegally. I'm talking about real gang members, people that are very violent, that they have taken off the street and they're holding now so that they can be deported. However, the mayor of Newark and these congresswomen decided they ain't trying to hear none of that. Let us in. So let's go ahead and see what Fox had to say about it.
Members of Congress slamming their bodies into our law enforcement officers, shoving them, screaming profanities in their faces, striking them with their fists, and otherwise assaulting law enforcement. The behavior was lawlessness, and it was beneath this body.
That's ongoing now. The DHS secretary there and the acting director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement both testifying before House lawmakers today. Kristi Noem and Todd Lyons are facing contentious questions from the Democratic lawmakers in the room, and the tensions are building over all about the clash between ICE agents and Democratic lawmakers in Newark, New Jersey last week. So that's a flashpoint today. Republican Congressman Buddy Carter has introduced a new resolution, and it would remove those 3 House Democrats from their committee posts over that behavior that you see on the screen right there. Wait, the lady in the lawmaker in the red jacket, she eventually body checks him and then has her hand above his shoulders. Anyway, Democrat lawmakers in both chambers are accusing the administration of obstructing oversight in that.
The right peaceful protest is sacrosanct in America. The Trump administration and often its Justice Department doesn't seem to believe in it.
What happens if they were to go and arrest these members, or if they would try to sanction them here in the House of Representatives?
They'll find out.
What would you do? What record?
It's a red line. It's very clear.
It's a red line to go after people who were body checking law enforcement or ICE agents. Law enforcement was there too. A spokesperson for the National Republican Congressional Committee responded this way. Radical Democrats are now openly threatening law enforcement just to stand behind their criminal illegal immigrant MS-13 buddies. Every single American is watching very closely and won't forget this for a second, end quote. Assistant DHS Secretary Tricia McLaughlin.
The fact that it was these 3 members of Congress who trespassed, broke the law, and stormed that ICE detention facility. They put law enforcement at risk, they put our detainees at risk, and they put our staff at risk. The fact that they put hands, they body slammed, body rammed, push, shove, whatever you want to call it, it was assault on our ICE agents, and it's unacceptable.
In focus now, Republican Senator Katie Britt from the great state of Alabama. She sits on Judiciary, Appropriations, and Rules Committees. Great to have you in focus today. Look, this was more than just a photo op for Democrats. They're willing to get physical out there, not in the defense of American citizens, but those behind bars, 75% of whom are have committed felonies inside that detention facility. Your reaction?
It's absolutely despicable, and Americans deserve better. I think Democrats are making it clear. They have the backs of criminal, illegal aliens, and Republicans have the backs of the American people. I mean, when you see this level of aggression, I wish we would have seen this passion and fortitude when it came to the lives lost from these criminal illegal aliens. What about their victims, Harris? I mean, you think about Rachel Marin. We heard nothing from Democrats. Those lawmakers serving in that space, not taking time with her mother or her children after she was raped and brutally murdered. You see these members storming this facility, assaulting ICE officers. It is absolutely reprehensible, and America deserves better.
So when you hear the leader of the Democrats in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, say if they try to arrest those 3 House members that we see in the video here, they'll just have to find out what happens. That sounds like a threat. What do you think he's threatening?
Look, Harris, I'm pretty sure that Hakeem Jeffries, let's rewind, no one is above the law. No one is above the law. Hearing Senator Schumer, this is yet another Schumer show. Look, their words mean nothing. We saw them take up for Biden, saying that he was fine. You just covered it on your show. That was absolutely false, and they knew it. They also know that these members were way out of bounds. Not only were they past the threshold of which they should be, but assaulting and pushing an ICE officer, there are consequences for that. The lawlessness is over, and we are sick of these Democrats finding ways to try to take up for people who are here illegally, forging these paths instead of the people that they actually serve. Look, on November 5th, Harris, America spoke loud and clear. They said, we want secure borders, we want secure streets, we want our children to be safe. That is what we are putting forth as the American people, to the American people. That's what President Trump's vision is. That is what DHS is executing on. That's what we're working on here. I was proud to pass the Lake and Riley Act and to help these criminal illegal aliens, help our ICE officers get these criminal illegal aliens off of our streets.
Look, I want to talk more about the people that you just mentioned who are inside this facility. Let's not forget who they are. Authorities say there are known MS-13 gang members, an illegal immigrant wanted for murder, and a legal immigrant arrested for assault with a deadly weapon.
Look at this. Look at these people. This is who the Democrat Party is protecting and defending. These are detainees right now in Newark's detention center. A known MS-13 gang member, MS-13 gang wanted for homicide, felony arrest for assault with a deadly weapon. This is who 2 female congresswomen are trying to bombard ICE detention center to get to, and do what exactly? This is who you want to meet, to make sure that they're being cared for, to make sure that they're, gaining all of their civil liberties, even though they're not even supposed to be here and are waiting deportation. Like, what exactly are you wanting to see when you get in here and you interview these MS-13 gang members? That's what I want to know. And why, as a Democratic leader, do you feel like interviewing these people and seeing about the well-being of these people supersedes what's happening outside those gates, supersedes what's happening in Newark, in the communities of Newark? Now, listen, I don't want to, speak poorly on the people who are from Newark, because I know it's a lot of beautiful people out there, but Newark can use some attention. I'm going to just say that, okay? So your mayor does not need to be spending his time on stuff like this.
And I said 75% of them in that facility have committed felonies. More from Secretary Noem's opening statement now.
I'd like to remind Americans and everyone in this body who is detained in this detention facility are murderers, rapists, known terrorists, MS-13 gang members, drug traffickers, and other heinous actors. I hope that those members of Congress will so passionately protest on behalf of the American victims that they were elected to represent, and not just violent criminals who are in this country illegally.
Look, you were just making that very point. I wanted to show the audience that, we're in lockstep among the Republicans on this as a nation. Why aren't we in lockstep on the other side of the aisle? Quick thought on that, and we'll move forward.
They're out of touch with the American people. They have let the liberal wing of their party now controls it. They care more about us than they do the people they serve. And it's a sad day for America. And I hope they wake up before it's too late, because what they're doing is reprehensible and certainly unsustainable for our nation overall.
A federal grand jury has indicted that Milwaukee County judge, and this was making huge headlines in recent days. FBI agents arrested that judge for allegedly helping a man sneak out and escape immigration authorities.
Look at this. Look at this. An American judge a sitting judge assisting a immigrant elude ICE detention officers. Like, this is I mean, she should not even be allowed to serve anymore. Does that mean she's never going to be able to serve? Obstructing. So these are the charges, maximum penalty. So I'm assuming she's going to have a trial, but she definitely should be disbarred. There's no way she should be presiding over anybody's case. This is a serious conflict of interest. And as a judge, you don't make good judgment. I mean, when it comes to decision making, you don't have good judgment. This was not your place by any stretch of the imagination. I can't even believe that she put her career on the line and may even ultimately her freedom on the line doing something like this. This is crazy. Crazy.
Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan faces 2 charges of carrying a maximum penalty of 6 years in prison and a $350,000 fine. Prosecutors say Judge Dugan helped an illegal immigrant and his lawyer out of her courtroom through a back jury door last month after learning that ICE agents were in the courthouse there to arrest him. This is egregious. Your reaction to maybe moving forward now with this?
You know, this is an example of rules for thee and not for me. And this is what the American people are sick of. 2 tiers of justice, people taking their liberal ideology to the next level, thinking that laws don't apply to them, thinking they know better than the rule of law. And look, there are consequences for this, and we're going to see that play out. And that's exactly what should happen.
Senator Katie Britt, a pleasure to have you in focus today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. 100%. To me, it is disappointing that you have judges as well as other congressmen and women who are literally completely just ignoring the safety and the well-being and the desires of American citizens so that they can kind of die on this hill, so that they can stand for liberal views that are not the majority right now. You had your time. You know what I'm saying? Biden had his 4 years and there was an election and Americans have spoken. Yes, there may be a lot of people who do not agree with Trump, do not agree with some of the stance that he's taking. However, that is how a democracy works. There were a lot of people who were not happy, who were not satisfied with Biden winning the election, and they just had to bear it and grin, and they had to just accept it until it was time for the 2024 election. And Trump won again. And that's what it is. And, more people came out than his 2020 run. What was it? The numbers that he saw was more than a Republican has seen in many, many years. And so across every demographic, people wanted to see change, and they felt that Trump would be the best candidate to bring about that change. And so for the Democrats to continue to push up against that and stand against that and try to create some sort of barrier for that change to happen is just not going to end well. It's just a horrible, horrible look. I wish somebody in the Democratic Party would just say, okay, we need to roll the rhetoric back. We cannot be putting all of our eggs in the basket of immigration and trying to defend these illegals. We need to focus on our constituents. We need to focus on the people who voted us into office so that we can appeal to their needs and their desires, because Trump won on that. Okay. Trump won on make America great again. America first. You know what I'm saying? And so Americans are tired. They are tired of this level of chaos. And it's crazy because, like I said, I had always voted Democrat. From where I stand, I'm not voting Democrat no time soon. I can't even see a future where that'll ever happen again, because these people are out of their minds. But the people who are dead set on never leaving that party, they are lacking right now. They need something, and that party has got to get it together. And truth be told, like Trump said, competition is a good thing. When the Republicans when the Republicans run in 2028, we need a viable candidate. You need to be able to have somebody from the Democratic Party actually stand and be like, okay, what is this person talking about? To be some sort of competition. Right now, you don't even have no competition. So it's come on, get it together. Get it together. And like I said, Newark's mayor has no business trying to bum rush an ICE detention center to see about those detainees when his streets look the way they do. So he seriously needs to prioritize what's important with regards to his city. So nonetheless, what is your opinion? How do you feel about this mayor of Newark, as well as these Congress people, storming an ICE detention center and making that their priority, making immigration and the detainees number one priority in terms of their party at this moment in time. And do you think that that level of just, I guess, ignoring Americans' desires is sustainable? I would love to continue this conversation in the comments. So if you have not already, please do go ahead, share, like, and subscribe. And until next time, this is the Community Ledger. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe and watch the next video by clicking right here.